You see, look, they're actually using his title in this paper. Look, they've got it here. Look, they're using it here. It says Lord Justice Leveson. It says Lord, but then Justice Leveson. It's not just like Lord Leveson or Sir Brian Leveson. If it's saying Sir Brian Leveson, right, then he's a knight of the realm, right, which he is. But here, he's saying Lord Justice Leveson, but he's actually using the word justice. You don't carry that title if it doesn't apply. I don't think that he can... I don't think that he can do it. I really don't, because the law lords aren't allowed to vote or participate in Parliament, so they shouldn't actually be doing reports. They shouldn't really, because it's called votes and proceedings, right? It's called votes and proceedings all the way through the Commons into the Lords, right? It's called votes and proceedings. So if it's not votes, then it's proceedings, right? And the law lords can't. The Chief Justice cannot vote or participate in proceedings, right? She can't. That's the point. Since, I mean, I wouldn't have made that law. This is Tony Blair and Gordon Brown. But I think that the government are misguided. And good evidence on that is with the Attorney General, what they've done with Tony Blair, getting the House of Commons are now ordering and commanding a member of the House of Lords, like the Attorney General, directing him, right? It's giving you give directions to a solicitor, right? You give directions to a solicitor. That's what Keir Starmer and, the House of Commons do. They give directions to the Attorney General. Lords aren't meant to take directions. It's a separate House of Parliament. They oversee the government, right, and they scrutinise legislation, and they do some departmental work, but it's meant to be, right, they're meant to oversee the government in departments and in what they're up to, right? They're not meant to be like what you call commanded or directed, like do this, do that type of thing. And that's really what the Attorney General does. This is what I think Tony Blair did, because the Labour Party would like to do that, wouldn't they? The latest Labour Party, like, even though I don't think Tony Blair has ever represented the working class people, right, ever, truly, it's a sort of thing that Labour would do, the Labour Party, let's get like the reins on a lord, right? Let's get a whip. It's like having a whip for a lord, right? When you're directing the Attorney General, and that's why it hasn't been done through history. It was only 4 times, and it's always been Labour. Why don't the Tories do it? Yeah, we'll do that as well. Why don't the Conservatives do that as well? I think the more affluent Conservatives are not that. There's a lot of Conservatives who are barristers and lawyers anyway. Why do we need to get a lead on, lawyers? We are lawyers, that's who the Tories are. They're made up out of barristers and lawyers, they're all affluent people. But the Labour Party, remember, the working class, but I don't think, Blair went to, Lincoln's Inn or wherever it was. Blair is not, working class at all. When I was small, I thought he was, when there was always, he's the MP for Sedgefield, right? And he has a hole in his sweater and all these yarns that they're spinning about him, trying to make him sound like he's working class or whatever, but it wasn't the case. The Attorney General needs prosecuting. I think it's illegal, the Attorney General's position for a Lord. The last 4 people who've been Attorney General, Tony Blair with this year 2000 against the oaths, and they're pressing on with it. They're showing no signs at all of confession. They're like, okay, we've got ourselves into a mess and we've made a massive mashup of it all. We need to do more. And that's the Sam Goosey way of doing things. It's like, I'm a corrupt criminal, I need to climb up higher and do more crime to protect myself, right? Rather than confessing. So, they've got your little Lord Justice Leveson. But this is running to the practice and ethics of the press, right? The practice and ethics of the press. This was 2012. Now, you see, I remember his name, the Leveson inquiry, the Leveson. So when they've just appointed him now, right, when they've appointed him to do this, when Shabana's appointed him to do this, looking into the courts and justice, right, I just thought it was a completely and totally, absolutely random thing to do. Oh, we'll get some retired judge to do it. Who can we trust? Oh, we'll use Sir Brian Leveson, right? In the same manner that in the Inquiries Act, right, they can appoint who they want, like random people, to be on to lead the inquiry. Like, it says that they might choose like a professor, right? So you might say, oh, we'll choose a professor to do it. Could be Professor Tim Wilson, right? You could, if you wanted to have an inquiry, you could, he's a professional man, right? He worked at university. I don't know if he knows much about law, but, he might be a type of person you could put on a committee if it's looking into, television and advertising, although you won't want to put him in front of an inquiry if it's looking into illegal election adverts, that's for sure. But like that, I thought they'd just I just thought they'd pulled Leveson out of the ether from nowhere, right? Like, oh, we'll get Alistair McReef to do it. He's retired. He's got not better to do, right? But now I remember, oh yeah, the Leveson, the Leveson inquiry. I mean, I'd heard of that before, but it slipped my mind. So, there was Sir Brian Leveson, but he's in charge of distributing powers to investigative authorities, like literally to the the highest level of investigative power you can get. He's in charge of it, right, distributing it. So giving powers, right, but he's wanting to take it away from the juries. So, are they saying that he was? This was 2012, right? I don't know he might have retired after that. He might have retired after, so he might not have been retired at that point. But if he wasn't retired, right? If Leveson wasn't retired, right? Then what? Why is he doing inquiries? Isn't he busy being a judge? If Leveson is working, right, as a circuit judge, what is he doing inquiries for, right? But look, they've got he's got his name there, Justice, right? Why is he doing inquiries? Why was he doing inquiries in 2012? Because that's votes and proceedings. Leaves an inquiry report into the culture, practice and ethics of the press. Why haven't they got Lord Walney to do it? He's not a judge. Why is Walney, they got Walney's doing all that security services inquiry, right? Why are they using judges to do it? It is votes and proceedings. There's some, I do, when it's about the courts, right, and jury power, whether we should scrap juries or not, that is raising alarm bells, because it's actually decisions on what the future of the country is going to be in legislation, like Magna Carta and Constitution and that. And justices, according to Tony Blair and Gordon Brown, said that they're not going to get involved in that. So why is Leveson doing it? So I can see why Shabana's appointed him now, but so he's going by the name, right? Just a minute. Why is it Lord Justice Leveson? So is he a Lord or not? Why is he going by the name of Sir Brian Leveson now? Oh, now, woman is Lord Justice Leveson, and then he's Sir Brian Leveson. He's like swapping his name around as he feels like it. And I do not think that you actually lose that title, because and actually, who will be the person? How do you investigate, right, if all of the retired judges in England now, are they using the title still of justice? Some of them using it. How would you investigate that? How would you get powers to do that? Get a list of them. That would be something serious to do. Well, who would you ask for such powers to investigate that? Sir Brian Leveson. All right. Well, what do you want to know that for? Well, to see if you, Sir Brian Leveson, are, still actually, you got the title and you're not entitled to do that. But it turns out that you might not have been earlier before, because Lord Justice Leveson, Votes and proceedings. Is this investigation contributing to votes and proceedings in Parliament by any chance?